Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Raiders Report. For this episode we are going to be jumping into the new Northline update that just released only a few days ago. Now I do know that I am a little late to the party and there's already tons of videos out there currently on YouTube, but I want to do this a little differently. I'm going to do a deep dive on some of the biggest changes that are coming along with this update. As always, I hope everybody jumps in the comments below, gives me their thoughts, what they agree on, what they don't agree on, and just have that massive discussion in the bottom as we do the deep dive on some of the biggest things, as I said, that's come with this update. So the biggest thing I want to talk about, and probably the biggest thing that everyone's most excited for, is the brand new map Stella Montes. Now we haven't really had any kind of video or confirmation besides small little snippets a bit on what this map could look like. I honestly believe that this map, it's going to be a lot different and play a lot different than a lot of people will think, in my opinion. Everything that I'm reading, I'm going to chuck a little bit on screen now. It's kind of giving me a vibe that this map is going to be a lot more kind of indoors, more than what we're used to with the current maps that we have that are so open, outdoor, kind of massive exploration type maps. Now my whole reasoning behind this and my whole thought process on why I think that this map is going to be a lot different, it's not going to be so open like, your damn battlegrounds, your spaceport. Every small snippet that you've seen, from even if it was just a teaser trailer, some of the descriptions that they brought out from the patch notes about the map itself, all of it points to me as it being some kind of giving off similar to Blue Gate and the underground kind of system that works on Blue Gate with the tunnels, but still massive kind of big areas. When you first walk into Blue Gate, underneath one of the main tunnel entrances, you still got the massive ceilings. And when you're even reading it itself, what it literally says, tempts raiders to explore an abandoned facility that remains relatively well preserved compared to the wreckage of the lower Rust Belt. I don't know, everything that this map is throwing at me and what I'm reading from it, again, this is all my own opinion, I could be completely wrong, is I feel as though it's going to be kind of more of an indoor type map, probably with smaller kind of areas maybe outside. It'll be really interesting to see how the map developers, manage to develop this map. Because I must say, all the maps that we have right now, Buried City, Damn Battleground, Spaceport, Blue Gate, every single map that's currently out, it's second to none. Honestly, the people who ever developed the maps at Embark, they need a massive raise because the maps are absolutely phenomenal. But that is my whole take on the Stella Montes map. It'll be interesting to see where it pans out when we do unlock it. The community event is pretty cool that's happening at the moment. We're very close to actually unlocking it, or maybe there's another phase, I'm not too sure. But it'll be interesting to see how the map looks. Now the next thing I wanted to talk about was the new arc that we've seen. Obviously we're getting two new arc machines, as everyone knows, the Matriarch and I think it's the Shredder, I believe it's called. We've only laid eyes on the Matriarch so far. I think the Shredder, they said in the patch notes, was coming out when Stella Montes unlocks, and that's the first time that we will see the Shredder arc. But this Matriarch, it's like, I look at this, I haven't seen it in game personally. I'm going to throw some vision up now that I've seen on YouTube from another creator though of what it looks like and how it plays. At first glance of the Matriarch though, I've got to be honest, it doesn't look as intimidating as the Queen during the Harvester events. Definitely a lot less intimidating. I could be wrong though, as I said, I haven't faced it personally or versed it personally. I've only seen what I've seen online, as you're seeing now on the screen. But there's nothing negative about this. I mean, over the course of Arc Raiders, when it's going to be released, I can imagine we are going to see so many different variants of Arc machines that are going to be introduced over the course of the coming years. And I'm all for it, man. I really want the Arc to be tough and tougher and tougher, and I hope they keep bringing machines out that are even harder than the last ones that they bring out, just to make it that more challenging, which makes the game that even more fun. Now moving on again, we've also got some a new legendary weapon. I believe it's an energy-based weapon. I haven't been able to find any footage of it. We've also got some new mines as well, and I think in more general lootable items. I did find this one vision on Reddit that I'm going to show you as well of the new mine. This thing, it absolutely packs a punch. I think I was reading the stats of it on a photo. It does 1,000 damage. The only thing with it though is it is timed, so it's not kind of like, when someone walks over it, it'll go off. I think it's got about a 6-second timer from the moment you place it. It'll definitely be good for arc machines kind of sneaking up on it like the video you've seen, but for when it comes to PvP, it's going to be a lot harder to kind of time that, correctly or perfectly to be able to take other enemy raiders down. But again, nonetheless, man, we're getting, new things like this. It's awesome to see. There's absolutely no negatives I can see at this whatsoever. I'm all for it, and I absolutely love it. Now, we do also have some balance changes that have come along with this patch as well, from some some craftable items like the arc motion core and the arc circuitry, the wolf pack, some launcher ammo, the spotter relay, and some other stuff. I'm going to throw it up on screen now so you can see it. The wolf pack I'm all for. Personally, I haven't found the blueprint for this to craft it in my workbench, but my friend did, and when he told me the actual resources required, I thought it was crazily cheap and easy to craft. You can see that they've now changed it to 3 refined explosives and 2 arc motion cores. Those arc motion cores, I believe you do only get them from bigger arc machines. I do have a few in my stash, but I have not found a single use for them whatsoever since being in my stash, like a lot of other things. There maybe was a use for them for something, but nothing I've come across yet. As you know, I've only played about 40 hours of gameplay since release. You can also see with the refiner levels now, with the arc motion cores and arc circuitries, you now can craft them and make them in your refiner with only a level 2, which I think honestly it's a great change. I was building towards that level 3 for my refiner, it's still only level 2. The arc circuitries, they're honestly massive to craft. You only require the arc alloy, which you get off almost any arc machine, and they're very useful for the blue shields. You need, a couple of the arc circuitries, or maybe it's only one to craft a blue shield with batteries, which are very easy to find. So this is a very welcome change, which I do enjoy. We've also got some changes with the launcher ammo. Crafting, it's going to be a little bit cheaper now to craft the launcher ammo to save you from buying it from the trader. As we all know, you've kind of got that 24-hour window where you can only buy so much. And the spotter relay. The spotters from the bombardiers, they've also gone down in value to 2,000 coins, which I think honestly was probably needed. There was a few strats out there with people making tons and tons of money purely from the spotter relays and selling them. A few of the other small changes as well that they've gone through, some small kind of miscellaneous changes. One with the desync. There's been a lot of reports of people experiencing desync. I myself included have definitely experienced it. You can see here that they're definitely, aware of the problem as well, the developers. They're trying to work their best on it to try to fix it. I've still, even after this update, kind of experienced a little bit. You can see here they've tried to, work with it towards the raiders and the arcs, with the desync problem. It's definitely something that I've still experienced though in game, but look, they're aware of it, they're working on it, and I'm sure that we will get more fixes towards it soon. And along with that, we've also got, duo matchmaking. That was huge as well. People have been asking for duo matchmaking a lot. It feels as though that, in my opinion, that duo matchmaking has been in the game for kind of a long while. They stated that they silently kind of tested it. They still prioritized the solos with solos and, squads, trios with trios. But now that they've made an announcement that it is official, they will try their best to accommodate with duo squad mates. It's great to see, man. The one thing that I'm so happy about with Embark is they are continuously listening to the community and the feedback and making changes when needed. But the thing that I'm more impressed about is they're not overstepping the mark when they are making these changes. There's a few things that people say that they don't like, then there's kind of half-half agreements. They're kind of making the changes that that kind of, you could say, are essential to make. But again, Embark, man, they are stepping so well in the right direction with this game. It has literally been about 2 weeks since release. The game keeps popping off. It's all over YouTube. Some of the biggest creators are having a ton of fun, including myself, man. I've only, seriously, I've still only pumped about 40 hours in total since release, but this is going to be a game that I'm going to stick with if it stays this way for, a very, very long time. So I hope Embark continue doing what they're doing, and they've seriously got such a great game in the hands that they've managed to create, and I'm so proud and I'm so happy for them. But I think that's going to wrap it up for the second episode of the Raiders Report. You guys let me know in the comments what you think of all the changes that I've mentioned in this. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions. It's one of the main reasons why I love doing this. I appreciate anybody who's watched this all the way through. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all again really soon.